All right. What a ridiculous game. I had to collect myself for at least like a half hour after this game. Um a whole lot to unpack. But before we get into all the nitty-gritty stuff, I just want to tell everybody that BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, and live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. If you think you know your stuff, you can get in on their $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head over to the online casino and get on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 total slot games. Head over to the website today to get in on the action. BetOnline, the game starts here. I've gotten really good at reading that ad.
You have good practice now.
And
Proud of you.
I don't really know what the place to start with the Giants is. Quite honestly,
I think. Well, there's an obvious place to start.
you think so. Well, yeah, actually, there is. Now that I think about it more, Malik Neighbors is fucking ridiculous.
And it's my beautiful, sweet prince,
He is,
Malik Neighbors.
and he is having the best rookie receiver season we've seen since like Justin Jefferson.
Shut up. Sorry.
Is that a car honking at you?
It is. I got the Dez treatment.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out Dez. 8 catches on 12. This is from Doug Analytics on Twitter. 8 catches on 12 targets, 78 yards. So I like this. 1.95 yards per route run. They're just getting the ball into his hands and letting him make a play.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he had another like 15 target game today. I don't know the exact numbers because I just fully disconnected after the end of that game. I just
He had 12 targets.
12 targets. I mean, this is double digit targets, excuse me, in every single game so far of his career, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what we're seeing isn't normal, man. This guy is not normal at all.
Best rookie receiver since Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah. Something about going from LSU to the Giants, man. Oh shit, the Ravens are housing one. Just short, down at like the 2. But
Give me an Isaiah Likely touchdown.
Ravens are about to go up 2 scores in the Cowboys. It's crazy.
This is gonna be all over the place today. I feel like there's a lot going on.
This live stream is gonna be very, very chaotic. I'm gonna try to stay on task as much as I can. We saw in the second half, Neighbors kind of went away in this game. I think it was 2 things. They switched a word onto him, and he traveled with him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as much that as it was the Browns pass rush really started to get home, and DJ was shook out of his fucking cleats.
I mean, I don't blame him. Like, Myles Garrett was given AT hell. And, like, people know how much we love Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
He wasn't great today.
And that's acceptable, right? Or, like, okay.
Yeah. It's not a fault or an indictment on him that he got beat by Myles Garrett, right? Yeah. He had 6 pressures allowed against Myles Garrett, which I wouldn't be surprised if it's like one of the highest of his career. I know he was pretty bad to begin his
rookie season. It's probably like one of the highest.
But I mean, good news is in the first half, they gave him enough protection to get things done, right? We saw it. He was getting the ball out early. Mm-hmm. Neighbors had 2 touchdowns in the first half. But even with the time, he still wasn't that accurate. He missed Theo Johnson on what should have been the easiest touchdown of his life.
Easy touchdown.
He almost overthrew Neighbors on the first touchdown, rather. And then the second touchdown wasn't a good throw either, to be honest.
The entire play or the body of work from DJ today still wasn't good, no matter what the stat line says. First half, high completion percentage, good yards per attempt, all that stuff. I give absolutely no shits about how Daniel played today. Or I should say I have no compliments because I do care about how he played, and he played like trash, honestly. I think when the marbles, when we were playing for all the marbles and all the chips were down, whatever fucking cliche you want to throw out there, Daniel Jones was fucking ass again. And the only source of offense for the Giants in the second half was that breakaway run from Singletary to ice the game. That was it.
Yeah, that was a pathetic second half performance. Sorry to cut you off.
I don't even think that the play calls were poor. I think the last couple drives, they thought that they could run the ball for first downs. I think they abandoned the quick game way too early. The drive, so it was the Singletary breakaway touchdown. Before that, the Browns fumbled on the handoff.
Mhm.
Before that, when we punted away, we ran 3 straight runs. That, to me, was some of the most scared play calling I've seen from Brian Daboll in his tenure here. Quite honestly, I think that with how they keyed in on Singletary all game, combined with the fact that Myles Garrett kind of seemed to pick up steam as this game went on, and how successful they were with quick and screen game stuff, all those play calls from that drive, first, second, third down, were all questionable. And I hope he learns from that going forward, because that almost lost us the game.
I think we went away from Wandale way too early, to your point about going away from the quick game way too early. I would have liked to see Tracy stay involved, like at least as much as he was in the first half, because I think he had like, I can check. He had 40 yards on 7 touches. That's solid.
Tyrone? Yeah. Tyrone was good. Tyrone, actually, I thought that he ran really well. Not so much between the tackles, but when you get him outside of the tackle, he runs very hard, and it's tough for DBs to bring him down.
Agreed.
So there's still a lot of juice in that guy. I was going to get to this eventually in the live stream, but we're talking about running back, so I want to just say this. Eric Gray needs to be cut. We need to leave him behind in Cleveland.
I'm sorry, Eric Gray.
We need to leave him there. He's like, what is the comp for him, Eric Gray?
Like Knicks land?
Can I put him in like Knicks terms? I honestly just have no joy in watching this guy ever play football.
Cam Reddish.
That
might be too harsh.
No, it's not too harsh. Eric Gray is fucking useless, man. Quite honestly.
He had the good preseason game, though, against the Lions.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much for bringing
He fooled me.
I'm so happy that he had a great preseason game. Eric Gray, I would much rather have Dante Miller.
Yeah.
Please. Shocking to me that they drafted Tyrone Tracy, fantastic returner at Purdue. And I know you have the 2 returners back there. Tracy's usually one of them, but having Eric Gray be a returner at any capacity is fucking mind-numbing at this point. It's can't happen anymore. That is the type of shit that loses you games like this on the margins. If that fumble doesn't happen, it's 21-0.
Yeah.
That's the margin that we're talking about here. Like, even after the Browns score that touchdown and converted the 2-pointer, it's still 21-8. Eric Gray is not – if he is on the roster, I will be more upset about that than us not cutting Greg Joseph. I'm so fucking done with Eric Gray. I'm sorry.
I mean, I personally don't have that strong feelings about Eric Gray, but, like, I do agree with your point about it losing us games on the margins. And we're not good enough of a team to get away with that type of stuff. We saw it last week against the Commanders, right? No kicker. So we lose the game because we have to go for it on every 4th down.
So
last year against the Jets, same exact thing.
I mean, last year it was abysmal too, just like this year. So that just raises my point. Like, the guy is a running back. Yes. He is not a good enough running back to get play over Tracy or over Singletary. And if he's not good enough to get play over either of those guys, Why is he on the team? Isaiah Hodgins, better receiver than Bryce Ford Wheaton. But what does Bryce Ford Wheaton do? He plays special teams well. He made a huge tackle on punt return today. The
That was a
same
great
type of
tackle.
impact would be felt if you had a good returner instead of Eric Gray.
Yeah.
I think that is just like the full stop reality of it. And I think it's just being forced because Eric Gray was whatever, a 5th round pick last year. Who is fucking texting me with this fucking shit, man? I'm sorry. All right. That's my Eric Gray rant, and my phone was on Do Not Disturb, so everybody just heard that fucking ding. That's awesome.
Gray is Jericho. I like that.
Gray is Jericho. I saw that.
I think Schwinn would agree.
A win in this economy, man. Listen, this is an opportunity economy. You know what I'm saying? We heard that.
Can we talk about the defense because they were fun? Like basically the whole game.
Yeah, I think Kayvon is just like a slow starter, maybe.
Anything like weeks 1 to 3 or 4, he's usually garbage, and then he remembers how to play football for a little bit. And then he'll have like 8 great weeks and then disappear again.
I mean, last year he started off real bad. He had a couple
4 or 5
sacks. Yeah, I think he started riding into shape around week 3. Last week was an improvement. This week was much better, especially in the run game.
He was great in the run this week.
Yeah, so,
I saw him. Like the fact that I was noticing him means that he was playing well, because we haven't been noticing him a lot the first 2 weeks. He had the great 4th and 1 stop. He had the split sack that should have been like it was his sack, the one he split with Aziz.
Yeah, that staying on the topic of the defense, just because my mind went here thinking about the pass rush, the linebackers I thought were fantastic today. McFadden.
Yeah, I hope Micah's okay. I saw he got a little banged up.
I thought his back locked up from the way it looked or something like that.
Yeah, that's what they said on the broadcast. So I'm hoping he's fine.
Listen, after week 1, I said that I thought Muasau was passable. It's a big difference with him and McFadden.
Yeah.
Micah is real good.
He's real solid. Real quick, last thing on the Malik Neighbors for right now. He's on pace for 141 catches, 1,550 yards, and 17 touchdowns.
I mean, that's just not normal shit, bro. That is not
1,600-yard rookie season.
That's
pretty solid.
Extra point. Goddamn.
You take those.
Also, every time I look this way, it's because I have a red zone on. So
I know. I'm looking at the Yankee game on the other side.
Hawkeye says, Neighbors is our Brunson, and we just need a QB OG to put it all together.
Cam Ward, soon come.
Yo, I'm not. This might be super nasty, bro, but I really wish Dak didn't extend with the Cowboys.
That is pretty nasty.
I really wish Dak said.
You want to pay Dak 50?
Bro, I would have paid Dak 50. I'm sorry.
I mean, it would probably make us a playoff team easily.
Let's see. Can Dak deliver for me right now? Okay.
Can he throw CD a touchdown?
Slid. I hope he throws CD a touchdown. Jesus Lord. Yo, I need to have a discussion with Devin Singletary because his slide costed me 6 fantasy points, and I don't fuck with that. That was rough. That made me a little upset.
You're not a man of the team, Colin.
I texted Schwinn actually after that play, and I said Devin Singletary plays for the fucking badge.
Saquon would have walked that.
Saquon would have taken his touchdown and added it to his stat line. That snake.
Dexter does need a raise. He was real good today.
This is just what I expected from him, man. Like,
I mean, we talked about it earlier.
He is.
He was going to abuse that center.
CD just fumbled. Nice. Ethan Posich is statistically the worst center in football this year, so I expected all this, but I think we're starting to see a little bit of the meshing happen between him and the 2 edge rushers. I mean, Aziz was great today. I thought Aziz had pretty much the best game of his career since his rookie season.
That class had a redemption game today. There was something special going on.
Well, he wasn't in that class. The class that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Never mind.
Before.
He was the year before. That's the Kayvon class.
Yeah, but that class, I mean, Kayvon had a good game. Flott was not somebody who I thought needed to be talked about too much on the podcast, which is an upgrade for him.
He was good and bad. Like he had some good moments. He had a couple good wrap-ups and a TFL. And then he also had a missed tackle on a TFL that went for like 5 or 6 yards. And had a couple of plays in coverage that were not great. But to your point, if we don't have to talk about him a lot, then that's a good thing.
Yeah, Flott, I just think you are NFL, bro. You are not for long with this league. A few players who I think that stands for with this team, but Flott is like one of the most. He's only playing because Phillips got hurt and McLeod and Adoree both got hurt.
Where the hell's Adoree?
It's not like Adoree fucking tackles anyway. I don't know how he got hurt.
I don't know how he got hurt either.
This is a pretty funny comment right here. Malik Neighbors, we're breaking out the Jergens. We are certainly admiring. That's what I'll say about Malik Neighbors. We're admiring the aura, absolutely. New York hasn't seen aura like this in a long fucking time. Garrett Wilson can try that shit. Garrett Wilson has no, it's not a comparison with the aura. Malik Neighbors has so much more aura than him.
He might be better at other things as well, like
playing football.
Yeah, like not being a small child at the catch point.
Not being this child at the catch point, actually being able to win jump balls. Just a few things like that.
Just a couple. I see load management Aziz is special. I kind of want to keep talking about the D line.
Yeah, that's
because
going.
Burns was also great. He had the strip sack. He drew I think he drew one hold for sure. He probably should have drawn 2 or 3. I don't remember if he drew a second.
I think it was 2.
Okay.
I think it was.
That makes sense. But he was great. Eli Chapman had a sack and a fumble recovery.
I was happy seeing that.
Sack. We mentioned Kayvon already. He was great. And then if you go back a level to the linebackers, you already mentioned Bobby and Micah. I thought Isaiah Simmons was also great.
Mm-hmm.
He patrolled the middle of the field really well today and even got to the boundaries when he needed to be. There were a couple times when Deshaun got loose, but that was more so to me, the defense just being out there for forever and tired legs than anything else because they were long developing plays on those. But overall, really good bounce back game from the D-line. They've been getting better and better each week, I think. Week 1 was rough. Last week was better. And then this week was just flat out dominant. I have the numbers from the pressure this game. And also shout out Shane Bowen for finally dialing up pressure. That was nice.
That was rookie quarterback last week. I really feel like they just let him sit back and get too comfortable.
I thought so too.
It was refreshing to see the pressure this week.
Yeah. So the Giants recorded 8 sacks, 4 QB hits, and 19 pressures today. It's the first time since 2016 that they've had 7 or more sacks in a game.
Wow.
So good showing by the defense. This is a matchup you had to win, especially considering how banged up the Browns O-line was coming in and now is again after this game.
I mean, the Browns O-line, they had Wyatt Teller go out. They had DeJuan Jones, I believe, go out.
Wills got hurt.
Sorry?
Wills got hurt as well.
Joel Bitonio, who's usually left guard, had to slide out to left tackle and got beat right away.
He was getting cooked by Brian Burns.
Got beat right away. So they're just – is their record now? No, the record now is 1-2 because they beat the Cowboys, I think.
We should be 2-1, unfortunately.
We should be, but I don't think this is – I don't think last week deserves us to say we should have been 2-1 because at the end
the defense was too bad.
Last week, I honestly believe we should have won that game even without a kicker. I mean, you just have to convert 1 2-point conversion. So
I agree.
I don't know official snap counts just yet on this Schwinn, but I don't think Hyatt played much. Like over 10% of snaps, I don't think happened for him.
He had the one deep ball that DJ missed early
Yeah.
in the game.
Came in for a while after Slayton hurt his thumb.
Yeah.
Slayton ended up coming back in about a drive after. So I don't think Hyatt actually played too much again this week.
I don't think this is a great matchup for him either. Like, this isn't really one where you try to force feed him into action. The Brown secondary is really good, and he just doesn't do much besides run fast right now.
Yeah, there's also not enough that, or I should say, not enough time to like use Hyatt in this matchup. Even beyond their secondary, their line really dictates that you can't play Jalen Hyatt, because even if you're trying to run the ball to slow down their pass rushers, you can't really run the ball great to the boundary with Hyatt out there. Like he's not going to block effectively. So just another kind of game script or game plan recipe for Slayton to be playing over him. That's just kind of his reality right now.
And he's also just flat out better right now. Like Hyatt is just not really much but a deep threat.
All of them are behind. They're all behind Wandale, Neighbors, and Singletary. Like those three guys right now are the ones who move the ball. It's those guys, and sometimes DJ will take off. But like, I want to talk about Singletary too. Like I hate that he fumbled because like the fumbles are gonna overshadow two fantastic games from him back to back. To stay up on that touchdown, or the should have been touchdown, to stay up on that game, like that is legitimately great stuff.
That's contact balance, baby.
How many guys stay up on that run? Like Saquon is gonna be the barometer for the rest of the season. It's just how it is.
He just did it today again.
Does he stay up on that? I don't know. I've seen him
get
less.
We've seen him get taken down before when he's about to break a big run. For sure.
Eventually, I'll move past just comping everything to Saquon, but like today's not the day, and people just are gonna have to be okay with that.
Yeah, just deal with it, guys. It's fine.
Update. I'll go to what you want right after that. But Drew Phillips' update is a calf strain. He didn't come back in after that, I don't think, but I also don't think it's a long-term thing. So
hopefully,
I'm pretty cautiously optimistic with them on Drew Phillips.
Yeah, short week though, which might be a little worrying.
That is tough. Yeah, that is a good point.
But I don't know. The Cowboys receiving core doesn't scare me enough to like want to rush him back. I don't think.
I mean, we might have to throw a fucking triple team on CeeDee Lamb, dude.
Yeah, Tay looked bad. I mean, getting into that, Neil also has. I can't bring up comments because I'm not cool enough, I guess. D-line mess, Flott, and a drunk Banks most of the game. Bone did the damn thing today. Yeah, Tay was bad. Just flat out bad. Some of the coverages weren't like exactly great for him. But he just has to be better and prove that he can actually hang with wide receiver ones. Amari's not the cream of the crop anymore like he used to be, in my opinion. I think he's still very good, but like he's no Justin Jefferson, right? And even last week, like Terry, I think is a step below Amari right now, just to the QB situation, like that and the offense. The Kingsbury offense is not going to get him involved that much.
Yeah,
I think he still gave up 5 catches, even with giving up less than 30 yards last week.
I do think that Cooper is just flat out better than McLaurin, honestly.
He is. I just need to see that he can hang with those guys, and we need him to take a step this year because the secondary is, at least the corners aren't that phenomenal, and decisions on his future is coming up. He's eligible. He's extension eligible next year.
After next season.
It's still. And I know it's early, but like, we kind of have to see if we need to get another corner. Like, we still need a cornerback too.
Well, I think they know that they need a corner, and I think that what this season just tells you is, do you need a cornerback 1 or do you need a quarterback 2?
Yeah.
So that is, you hope that he's a cornerback 1, but I don't know if it's a Banks thing or if it's a scheme thing, because now this is 2 straight DCs who play off coverage with Deontay on short yardage money downs. It was a thing with Wink, and it was frustrating, and it's kind of been a thing again with Bowen. Like 2 times
The
today, it was
touchdown.
3rd down, and they had him in off coverage, and I don't really have an explanation for that. There's not really anything to that says like, yeah, this is how you should be playing it in this situation.
Especially knowing the type of corner he is. He's never been a great zone corner. His calling card has always been man.
Yeah, he's physical. He's going to use hands, which is, I think, more so than allowing the couches to Cooper. What was concerning to me is that he didn't play through Cooper's hands. Like, he didn't attack the ball. Granted, Cooper's flashing late, right when the ball's coming into his pocket.
That's when he always gets beat. Yeah.
But you have to learn in the NFL that is how receivers operate. And you have to know that you have to have a hand in the basket at all times. One can get up, you can turn around and get one hand up to play the ball. The other hand has to go from their hip into their breadbasket and be trying to strip that out.
I agree. Like,
he's glued to him though. Like,
I know, like
catches. It's
the coverage is solid, but like you got to finish the play, and that's the frustrating part. To your point. And it's happened every week, right? Like, it happened with Jefferson week 1 on the left sideline.
Yeah.
I think in the second half it was, or maybe it was late in the first.
The Vikings.
We saw it again today on the left sideline with Amari. He got beat late. It happens, but like, just finish the play sometimes, man. Please, just for my soul.
I want to see what Jefferson is pacing for after this game that he had, because he caught another touchdown today. 1 second, I'm gonna get it pulled up. So the Vikings are 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
They've scored an average of 28 points per game, and Jefferson now, after having 6 for 80 and a touchdown today, he's at 14 for 250 and 3. So, not quite
His
Malik.
Neighbors. Are those Neighbors numbers or Jefferson's?
Neighbors is actually there, like kind of equal to him.
No, he definitely is.
Neighbors right now is.
I'm gonna look. He is 23 for 271 and 3 touchdowns.
Jesus Christ, bro. We have a fucking super. It's not like a superstar, bro. It's like a superstar.
Yeah.
That's the type of player that we have. It
is unreal stuff, man. Like, to have a guy. I mean, we talked about it earlier. He's on pace for almost 1,600 yards and 17 touchdowns as a rookie.
With Danny Dimes.
With Daniel Jones as your quarterback. Imagine what he's going to do with, like, I'm not even going to put a name to it, but just like a quarterback.
Arch Manning?
I don't know if I could wait that long.
Yo, is this common for you, Luca?
Apparently.
Oh, man.
Getting cooked.
Hawkeye, we talking about Will Johnson, cornerback?
I assume so.
Probably a top 5 pick. Something like that.
Can you imagine what the reaction would be if we took him over a quarterback?
It would be bad. It would be pretty bad.
It would be bad.
Him, Travis Hunter, Tet McMillan might be a top 5 pick. You're gonna have quarterbacks that are up there. You're also gonna have. There's an LSU O tackle who his name is slipping me right now, but I know he's a top prospect. A lot of guys this year. I think the top of the first round is going to be decent. Unfortunately, 24 seconds says we need a better kicker. I don't know about that, bro.
Gano's
Gano's
just old.
are.
You just need to see that. That's the whole issue. He's old, so he gets hurt all the time now.
And the Giants won a football game.
Thursday?
The Giants won a football game. Like,
They won a football game.
I wasn't sure how long it would take us to win it this year, honestly.
Yeah, no, after going 0-2 those first 2 weeks, I was getting a little nervous. But shout out to Deshaun Watson for still being the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Dude, Deshaun Watson fucking sucks.
He is so bad. He missed so many throws today.
He is. There was a lot of plays where I was like, we might not be that good. He might just be that fucking bad. And
he missed open so many times.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to complain about it because it's got to be like sometimes watching Daniel Jones play.
That's how they feel playing us.
As an opposing fan, like Washington last week, they're probably like, "Holy shit!" Can you imagine if he could actually like complete the passes he should?
I thought that, like, dude, they had Elijah Moore open a lot this game.
I mean, that's who we missed on most of the time.
Yeah.
I know we missed Amari. I mean, the last throw to end the game, he hit Cedric Tillman right in the chest. And it's funny enough, because actually, during the draft, when we picked Hyatt, I said that I would have preferred Cedric Tillman. And then he had the losing drop today. So, shout out to him.
So, Jonathan Vilma was on the broadcast just, like, saying that it was a flat-out drop and all that. And does it fall in the category of a drop? Yeah. But Banks did get a touch on that ball. But that
and another play when he was there.
That goes back to what we said. Yeah, the play right before that you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back to what we said with him not playing through the ball well. Like, that is a play where you got a piece of it, sure. You have to ban that to the ground, man. You had your back turned. You have good line of sight with the ball. You have your arm out. That's just a miss that is like... what the fuck?
Did it go through his hand?
Like, it's like when when somebody messes up playing baseball and they're like, yo, do you have a hole in your glove? It's like that type of thing.
Exactly. I wanted Pinnock to ankle. I don't know if I can read that.
I don't think we can not read that. I think it's
fair enough. I mean, I'm never one for doing that type of stuff because my teams always catch the worst of it. I don't fuck with injury karma.
I understand that. I'm gonna go from the last three most recent and go on down. Shanye says, if we beat Dallas, are we officially back?
The schedule is still pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
But if you get to 2-2 and you can split games the rest of the way, and like after this, you just gotta win a couple games you shouldn't, right? If we beat Dallas, let me look at the schedule again, actually.
Yeah.
Please.
Like, how are the Panthers winning?
So we have Dallas and then Seattle, Cincinnati, and Philly. Cincinnati is on Sunday Night Football. I think that's a winnable game. Seattle is probably also winnable, but that's going to be a tough one. O-line has to be really good that game. But, like, you get Pittsburgh, Washington, Carolina, Tampa, Atlanta. There's winnable games in there. And even, like, the better teams on the schedule haven't exactly been great this year. So,
I mean, the Bengals look good.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. Just beat Dallas this week. And then we'll talk about the rest of the season. Because if we're being honest, we probably should have been 2-1 by now. We should not be 1-2. I mean, it's hard to say. I think we should be 2-1.
I think that saying we're back if we beat Dallas is a little bit misleading because I think with Dallas, you can really run the ball on them right now. And if the Giants have a strength, it's running the ball and quick game to Malik Neighbors. Being that Trayvon Diggs loves to hunt interceptions, Deron Bland is out, you're going to negate their pass rush pretty well by getting out the ball quick and running the ball. If the defense holds up, which is going to be a tough task because the O-line for the Cowboys is always great every season. They just churn out studs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I expect the win. I'm not saying anything like that. The Giants have a formula to win, though, if they can execute well.
Definitely. And you have to take advantage of, on the other side of the ball, or same side of the ball, rather, sorry, their lack of threats outside of CD. Like, I don't think Jake Ferguson is anything special. I don't even know who the hell their wide receiver 2 is, to be honest. Is it Cooks still?
Brandon Cooks. It's Brandon Cooks. Jalen Tolbert is
And
also
Jalen Tolbert.
I have no respect for their fucking running back room at all.
No, that's another good point. Like, if the linebackers play like they did today, they should have a lot of trouble moving the ball because Bowen has already shown a liking to double covering the opposing team's wide receiver 1. We saw it in week 1 against Jefferson. We saw it to a lesser extent last week against Washington. After Amari's first touchdown, we saw it a ton until Cleveland started getting their offense back together. So, especially considering the state of their wide receiver room, I think we're going to pay a lot of attention to CD and make that go somewhere else and see if the pass rush can get home again because the formula worked today until the offense stopped moving the ball. And we can talk about that a little bit as well later on.
I'm going to put this one on just because I don't think anybody has sympathy for Deshaun Watson, really.
Yeah, no.
I wanted Pinnock to ankle lock Watson and break it, but we probably lose if Winston's taken over as quarterback.
Yeah, Jameis actually might be better than Deshaun.
Jameis, I mean, he should – if they're not going to start him, he should ask for a trade because
I liked how he only came in for the like the 4th and 1s.
like
go get him, Jameis.
Dude, Jameis was probably the best quarterback in this game, and he didn't throw a single ball. Oh my God!
Yeah,
the Panthers are gonna fucking win.
The Panthers.
Oh shit! Thielen's fucking hurt, but Thielen just caught a touchdown. They're up 21-7. Bryce Young.
Well, we looked the game script for
Bryce
Devontae.
Young.
What happened?
Bryce Young is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, the first drive was like a 71-yard touchdown drive, right? Like 9 plays, 71 or something.
Yeah. And Dalton just threw a strike to Thielen between 2 guys.
Dalton's good. like, maybe not good, but he's definitely serviceable.
I mean, this is just what happens when you have a quarterback who can function, right? Like, kind of not exactly 1-for-1 with our situation, but
kind of.
Almost. Good segue to this comment. I didn't hear everybody's opinions on Jones today. Jones, first half, I'll grade him at like a B.
Yeah, I mean, from the way you were talking about him, I would think you would give him like a C. But I didn't think he was worse than a B either. Maybe a B minus, but he was good today. You know, he wasn't anything special.
Yeah, I can't exactly dock points for too much besides like the Theo Johnson missed touchdown and then the interception would have put a huge stain on things, but we got lucky and it was a roughing the passer call. So
we might not win the game if he throws that pick.
If that happens, I think we fully lose this game.
Because that was early in the first touchdown drive.
Yes, it was right.
And that was a long drive.
It was fumble, Brown's touchdown, near interception.
Yeah.
And then interceptions called back. We go back and score down the other way for like I think like
7.5
points. 7.5 points, 7.5 minutes. I'm sorry. So some of the comments are saying you guys lost.
We didn't say C.
Some are saying he wasn't B, he was a C. The first half, whatever. Overall for the game, I don't think it was particularly good.
He wasn't great. I mean, he missed a lot in the second half. And granted, the Browns' pass rush was getting home more, but like there were plays where he was given enough time and he just missed guys.
There was just
like
times
the neighbors should have been touchdown, right? On the smash.
Him over the top. Yeah.
And then they go right back to it, and it's good coverage by Newsome again. Like, you have to take advantage of those types of things. That's like a pitch and catch, and he had more than enough time to get that throw off.
Well, to probably Brad over here on this comment, I just want to ask, like, a B is me saying you did a good job. Like, a B is me saying you executed, you didn't, carry us, or you didn't put the team on your back for like an entire drive, right? Like, nobody really does that in football anyway. But
yeah,
a B is me saying you played pretty well. And I think Daniel Jones would sign up for a B every fucking half with how he's played recently.
100%.
So I don't know. Like, if that's harsh, then I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah.
This. Okay, while I don't agree with this from Hawkeye 420 on
there were some sketchy ass calls, man.
Yeah, so Hawkeye 420 says Newsome 1 should have been DPI. I think that if you don't call that DPI, that's fine. But what you can't do is not call that DPI, swallow your whistle on that play, and then also call Daniel Bellinger for the hold on the Daniel Jones first down scramble. You can't call Theo Johnson for a hold when I don't really think it was much of a hold. Like, he had the angle on the defender, and at that point the defender was trailing the play. So I think that stuff is fucking ticky-tack, man. Honestly, I think the refs were kind of brutal with some of those borderline calls.
I agree. And I kind of want to continue this Jones conversation just because there's comments flowing in about it. He was 20 for 23 with 180 in the first half. He finished the game 24 for 34. Like, I know that's not horrible, but he just should have had a better day. And it's not like the offense was anything special today. He didn't have to do anything crazy. Dable, once again, simplified the offense. And, okay, can you make a 2-yard throw to Malik Neighbors running across the middle of the field? Can you hit Theo Johnson on a block and release, which he didn't do for the touchdown? If you want to talk about his good first half, we also have to consider the fact that he probably should have had a 4-touchdown day. 3-touchdown day. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, the Theo Johnson play ended up being converted on the next one, but the neighbors went over the top and that second half shit, so it's like kind of getting bunched up. At the end of the day, did Daniel Jones make plays in the first half where I said, holy shit, that was a fucking strike? Maybe twice. A lot of the stuff was quick to Singletary in the screen game. A little dump off to Singletary here and there. Neighbors creating after a spin after the catch. Like, Daniel Jones is getting full credit for me for being a distributor today. I thought he did a good job. Obviously, Neighbors is going to get peppered. I thought he made good use of Wandale in the first half. Honestly, great use of Wandale. Wandale had a huge conversion on a second long, and he got a 12. So I think that Jones, if people are going to be picky about the B, it's tough because giving him anything higher than a B, if you give him a B plus, dude, that's like
borderline great.
That's like,
you are not close to great. I'm
So
sorry.
I'm not gonna give the full game grade because I think then people might come for my absolute fucking neck. I mean, full game. If you think that Daniel Jones was, when you put everything together, Daniel Jones in this game was probably at his ceiling, a B minus C plus. The second half, I think he honestly wilted, and a lot of plays where he ended up getting hit. If he stands in the pocket and accepts the fact that he's gonna get hit regardless and delivers a good ball, we win this game much less stress. So, is there an improvement? No, bro.
I'm not giving. No, we're not giving a B plus first half.
I can't give
He was
B
never
plus.
great. He
But I
wasn't
respect
great at all
I
in this
respect
game
I
at any
respect
point.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
The one play that really stuck out to me was the third down where he ended up getting hit by Myles Garrett. He put out a ball to Wandale, and it was just out of Wandale's reach. He tried to fire it off fast because he didn't want to get hit. He ended up getting fucking smacked and driven to the ground anyway. And if that was going to be your reality, step in and give me a legitimate ball to Wandale.
Like, yeah.
That conversion is the game. You don't have to worry about getting a fumble on that next drive by the Browns. It's done. So, this is funny. You played soccer. You know that Jose Mourinho meme, right?
Of course.
Okay, there you go.
Of course. I don't know. I feel like we kind of hit on everything.
Do you want to talk about Thursday?
I guess we can talk about Thursday.
Just
so, yeah, short week coming up. We have Dallas on Thursday Night Football at Dallas, right? Oh no, are we at home?
I will check that real quick.
I would be kind of surprised if we're at home.
We are at home on Thursday.
Oh God. Okay, so at home against Dallas on Thursday night. Short week. Thankfully, it's also a short week for Dallas. Shorter week if you consider game time because they just started playing the Ravens an hour ago.
That is a good point.
You know, we got asked earlier if we're back after we beat Dallas. We talked a little bit about some of the ways we can beat Dallas.
Holy shit. Please look at what the Lions just did. All the viewers, I want you to look at what the Lions just did. Holy shit. They just ran a fucking lateral in the middle of like an actual NFL game.
Did it work?
Yes. Gibbs went free for a touchdown.
Oh, nice. You made me lose my train of thought.
I'm so sorry. Dallas at home.
Dallas at home. There's a night. You have to take advantage of the fact that they just don't have a defensive line, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting run all over again already by Baltimore. They got run all over last week by the Saints in a pathetic showing. Like, just run at Micah Parsons. And I know how that sounds. As crazy as that sounds, he just hasn't been a good run defender in his career this far. And you have to take advantage of that. And their DB, like their secondary is still pretty solid. I know they lost Gilmore. Bland is out for a chunk of time. I don't know if it's the whole year. It might be the whole year. But that's another thing you have to take advantage of, right? Like, see if Malik can win one-on-one against Diggs. And I texted you actually early in the game. I was like, I don't really hate that they're not trying to force feed Malik right away. See what the Browns do. And Dable started by setting up with the run and getting Singletary involved and getting Wandale involved on like short routes and getting Tyron Tracy some touches. And then he started going to Malik once like the Browns switched up their coverage in some way to get Denzel off of Malik to take care of the short stuff because he's a good tackler in the open field. And that allowed Malik to just go absolutely wild against the cornerback too. Expect a similar thing next week. And I think that would be a good game plan for us. You know, I think we can similarly, holy crap, bully Dallas's defensive line like we did in the first half today. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have even close to as good of a unit as Cleveland does. Like their defense is, I don't even think it's a comparison. So hopefully we just see basically the same thing as today. There's no reason to switch it up, really.
I think in recent times, this is as is good the right word, but this is as favorable as the Giants O line versus the Cowboys D line has ever been.
Yeah.
I have so much confidence in this line versus the Dallas D line, and it's in this game against Baltimore right now. Baltimore's line has not been good this year so far, and they are still kind of owning Dallas at the line of scrimmage.
Mhm.
So that is your path to winning this game. And coincidentally, been 3 good games in a row. Sorry, 2 good games in a row from this guy. Could Devin Singletary make it a three-peat and really put together the 3rd straight really borderline great game for the Giants? I mean, it's possible, man.
Yeah. I mean, if there's any time, to your point, like we finally have an O-line that can not get just absolutely wrecked by Dallas's defensive front. And hopefully we see, like, I need to see that on Thursday. Don't let them have some, like, flashback performance where Micah and Lawrence go crazy. Like, don't let it happen.
I'll probably finish off on this.
Yeah.
I'm still low on GVR. Would you guys try Neal or Azudu over him? My answer,
Definitely not Azudu.
Yeah.
And he's also on the IR right now, I believe. Actually, I'll let you take this one first.
My answer would be no. Illuminor has talked about how he's played next to Greg in Las Vegas, and I think he's not really played at a level where I'm thinking about benching him. Honestly, I think the entire line has been fine. Just laughing at this arrest Bobby Johnson. I think the entire line has been trending upwards. I think today was a little bit of a downturn in the pass blocking game from Washington, but that's expected, right? Just because of the talent jump that you're playing against. And you give these guys some more time to mesh. I think they'll be a really great unit, man. Honestly, they held up better against the edges for Cleveland than I expected. You talk about Myles Garrett a lot. Darius Smith is out there too.
I think Za'Darius had the 1 sack, and that might have been it.
Like, that's a legitimate great duo, and they held up. So, with that, with this that you mentioned about JMS getting better, which I do agree with, John Runyon playing pretty well to start his Giants career.
Mm-hmm.
I think this line just needs more time to mesh, and I think more than any of those guys, Van Roten is the guy who needs the most time because he came into camp late, right? So, on top of that, on top of everybody needing to play together, I want to keep him with his former teammate, Luminor, until he gives me a reason to pull him, and he hasn't so far.
Yeah, completely agree.
I want to put up the Bobby Johnson arrest comment again, and I want to leave off on it because it's very true. And he's
Carmen Brasillo, you saved my life.
Yeah, and the car honking agrees with you. I think solid place to leave it off.
That feels like a good place to end it.
I am so fucking shot from the game today. How am I going to do homework right now? I have no fucking clue.
I somehow got a little bit done during the game. I saved, but I do have to write still. Fun times.
Well, I will see everybody for Strictly NFL this week. And maybe we do a Thursday night live stream. Who knows? It'll be pretty late, so I don't know how successful it'll be, but we'll see. We'll talk about things. Enjoy a Victory Monday tomorrow for Giants Nation.
Let's go.
How special.
First Victory Monday of the year.
How special.
And enjoy it because there might not be another one for a while.
Yeah, that sucks to say out loud, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you guys for joining us. And I don't know if I'll see you, but Con will definitely see you on Thursday morning for this week, strictly NFL.
Yep. See, maybe they'll get me twice on Thursday. Check it out. But see everybody. Bye.
See you guys later.